King James. I know
That is the King James.
No, it's not it. Oh, the Gideons, yeah. They used to have that in every hotel.
Yeah.
No, this is not the real one.
It's not a King James Bible?
No. Authorized 1611.
Okay, let me show you where it says King James, yeah? King James Bible?
No, the new.
The new is just a translation, right?
New's no good.
So you don't believe in this?
No.
What about this one?
1611.
NASB.
No, it's even worse.
That's worse, huh? So this is so which one is the real Bible?
1611. King
Okay.
James.
So let me ask you about some verses, and then you can bring up the 1611. Okay. Let me look it up for you. King James. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the Bible Gateway. KJV, King James, right?
Right, right.
Okay. So if you look at here in Matthew, and Jacob begotten Joseph, the husband of Mary, to whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. Right?
Right.
Is that the same in the King James?
I don't know.
Well, let's look it up.
Yeah. And not everything is gonna be different. Some of the stuff is gonna be the same. Some of the stuff isn't. So
No problem.
happen to find.
Okay, there you go. King James. Do you want to read it?
Right. So
Okay.
Like I said, it's
So it's the same, right?
That one's the same.
That one is the same. Okay. So who's the father of Joseph?
Whoever it was in his lineage.
Who is it right there? It's highlighted with a red.
Right.
What is it?
And Jacob, Joseph. Right.
Okay. So Jacob
Right.
is the father of Joseph, right?
Right.
Okay.
But
So if
you
we
know
go,
it's not the Jacob of that Jacob.
I got you.
Right.
We're in Luke now.
Right.
Okay. I mean, look it up here as well.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay. And now Jesus himself began his ministry at about 30 years of age, as being the supposed son of Joseph, the son of Heli, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the same in the King James original?
Right.
So who's the father of Joseph here?
There's Joseph, the son of Heli. So Heli is.
But earlier it was Jacob.
Okay.
So which one is it?
I don't know. I have to study it.
Would you say it's a contradiction?
It seems like a contradiction, but
Okay.
I have to study
Good.
it more.
But you do see that there's a clear contradiction here, right?
Well, the two different gospels saying.
Two different fathers for the same Joseph.
Right. I have to read it.
Okay, so if you read it and find that it is a contradiction, would you agree that's a problem?
It would be a problem, but I haven't
I
researched
appreciate
it and read
that.
it.
I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Let me ask you 2 Chronicles 22:2. Isaiah was 42 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Athaliah, the granddaughter of Omri. Is that correct?
Okay. Right. Okay.
Are you a pastor, a preacher? Looks like you're well read in the Bible.
No, I just study it.
Okay. 2 Kings
Uh-huh.
in 8:26, Isaiah was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Athaliah, the granddaughter of Omri.
Right.
How old was he here?
22.
And the other verse?
42.
Is that a contradiction?
There is, but I don't know if it's the same king. I don't know.
So it's a good point, right?
Right.
Isaiah, who ruled 1 year in Jerusalem, what's his mother's name?
Right. Athaliah.
And the granddaughter of?
Omri.
And in the other verse? I got you. Relax.
Let's see.
Same mother, Athaliah, same grandfather, Omri, same 1 year in Jerusalem.
Right.
Two different ages.
Yeah.
And it was only a 1 year rule.
Yeah.
So that's a contradiction.
Yeah. I don't
You
know.
would agree. I mean,
read it. I have to research it.
go home, research it, look it up. Do you want to take pictures or write down the verses?
Yeah. No, I can. Yeah.
Okay.
I can research them. But
So would you say apparently these are clear contradictions?
on the surface, it seems like a contradiction. But again, I haven't researched it.
I got you. 2 Samuel 24:9.
Yeah.
Then Jacob gave the sum of the number of people to the king, to King David, right?
Right.
And there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men who drew the sword. How many?
800,000.
Okay. And the men of Judah were 500,000. How much?
500.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. First Chronicles 21:5. And Job gave the sum of the number of the people to David, saying King David. All Israel had was 1,100,000. You see that different from the 800,000?
Right.
And Judah had 470,000
Right.
instead of 500,000.
Yeah. I don't know.
Clear-
Maybe that was later on in their battles.
Same
or-
Job, same king, same incident, same counting.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
So-
Again, I have to research.
They do seem like clear numeric contradictions.
On the surface, yes.
Okay.
But I have to research it because
I got you. No
other
problem.
people research these contradictions and they give answers to it, which I don't
Right?
have.
But if you go look them up and there are
Yeah.
clear contradictions, will you then?
Then that will be fine.
Okay. Do you believe that Jesus was God?
Yes.
And do you believe that he knew everything as God knows everything?
Yes.
Okay. In Mark 13:32.
Oh yeah, but that day no one knows.
Okay.
That's true.
But
When he
of
was
that
on
day,
Earth,
okay.
before he went to the cross, he didn't know. But
Okay.
after
So on earth he was no longer God?
no, the Father had not revealed that to him
So that means he didn't know.
because he
Okay.
hadn't died on the cross yet.
Okay, so that means at that time he was not God because God
He
knows
was
everything.
God. He
But
was
how
God.
could he be God and not know?
Because the Father had not revealed it.
So
For the same reason that
listen,
in the Old Testament,
listen to yourself, right? What's your name?
Mike.
Mike, nice to meet you. My name is Uthman.
Hi.
We agreed that God knows everything.
Right.
There is nothing unknown to God.
Right.
And if Jesus doesn't know the hour, the Father does know,
Right.
and Jesus doesn't know,
Right.
then that means at that moment, according to your definition, he could not be God because God knows everything.
He knows everything, but
He doesn't know the hour.
That wasn't revealed.
So then he can't be God because he didn't know something. Come on. Okay.
It seems like it's, but he didn't know after the resurrection.
Where does it say that?
He has the keys of hell and death.
No, where does it say he knew the hour?
It doesn't say
You
he knew the
you
hour
just made it up.
specifically.
Yeah. Okay. So here, what does, according to the Bible, according to your Bible, Jesus says, "But of that day and hour, no one knows,
Right.
not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." So
Right.
you would have to agree, by definition,
Right.
at that moment, Jesus could not be God, because you and me agreed earlier that God knows everything. Nothing is hidden from God.
That was. Here's the thing. He didn't have the authority to know that from the Father.
So if he didn't, that
He
means
didn't
there's
have the
some.
authority.
I got
but
you.
it doesn't
But-
diminish his God.
If he didn't have the authority,
Right.
that means he didn't know the hour, right?
He didn't have. He didn't.
Okay. He
wasn't
didn't know
revealed
the
to him.
hour,
He
right?
didn't reveal it to
If
him.
he
Right.
didn't know something,
Right.
he cannot be God because we agreed
That would
God
not-
knows
That would
everything.
not diminish his godhood.
How can God not know something?
Because the Father had preeminent authority.
So Father is above Jesus?
In the Old Testament, yes.
This is the New Testament. This is Mark.
I'm saying before the resurrection.
Okay, so that means the Father was greater than Jesus.
The Father sent Jesus. Had to be.
So his Father is greater.
But now, after the resurrection, the Father has put his name above even his own name.
Where is that?
Name given above every name where men must be saved.
Above God himself, the Father?
Name given above every name. That's
Interesting.
above every name.
Would God at least know if there's fruit on a tree?
Yeah.
Okay. Here in Mark,
Yeah.
it says in 11:13, and seeing from afar a fig tree
Right.
having leaves, Jesus, he went to see perhaps that it would have something on it.
Right.
When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season of figs.
Right.
How could God not know if there's fruit on a tree? Come on, Mike.
I tell you. Hold on.
I'm listening.
Okay. Jesus turned on and is off his divinity.
So when he turned it off, he wasn't God then.
When he turned off the divinity, he's man.
So he's not God at that
He
time.
is God. He has to
You
be.
just said he
Listen,
turned off his divinity. So
Listen.
how could he be God if he's not divine?
it's
Mike,
just
you know that doesn't
no,
make
no,
sense,
but hold
right?
on. It's just like in the Gospel of John. He says, "Who are you?" He says, "I am," and the 600 fall.
The question is, if you say Jesus turned off his divinity,
Yeah.
then at that time he's no longer divine, right?
At that moment.
Okay, so he is not God at that moment then.
His divinity is turned off, but his godhood is there. You see what
So
I'm saying?
if he's no longer divine, how could he be God? Is God not divine?
He is divine.
Okay. So when if
But
he
he was
doesn't
also-
know,
but he's
if he
also
doesn't know if there is fruit on a tree,
Right.
if he doesn't know figs on a tree, if he doesn't know when is the hour, if he has turned off his divinity,
Right.
that sure sounds to me like he's not God then.
He is God.
That doesn't make sense, Mike.
How